And welcome to another installment of Sober Second Thoughts. My name is Rick Samprin. This is the Fifth Quarter Show on YouTube. Every Tuesday, we look back at the game that was, the week that was, either in Ticats land or with the Canadian Football League. And, well, we got to look back to what was an outstanding performance, especially in the first half, by the Hamilton Tiger Cats. They beat Calgary 42-20. Bo Levi Mitchell reaching the 5,000 passing yard club once again. And to reach 5,000 yards in a CFL season, a quarterback has to average 277 yards during those 18 games. If you miss some games, obviously that average has to go higher. Bo didn't start every game. He started all but one, but he has hit 300 yards in a game 9 times this season and set a season best of 450 yards in Hamilton's last game, that game against the Calgary Stampeders. He is now 342 yards away from breaking Henry Burris's franchise record of 5,367 yards, which Smilin' Hank set in 2012, first year in Hamilton. And Bo is also 360 yards away from surpassing her personal best of 5,385 yards that he amassed with Calgary back in 2016. So with these stats in sight, I have a feeling, I have a hunch that Bo Levi is going to be given every opportunity to surpass those stats in this Friday's game against the Ottawa Redblacks in the nation's capital. Of course, that was a big win at Tim Hortons Field in the final home game of the season, and there have been a few big wins in the last half of this season. Since Labor Day, the Tiger Cats are 5-1. 4 of those wins have come against playoff teams. And in each of those 5 victories, the Ticats scored at least 31 points. Those are all big check marks. For the past week or so, head coach Scott Milanovich has made mention a number of times about building momentum for next year. You might think that is kind of funny because the offseason is like 6-7 months long. How do you build momentum now for the start of next season? And certainly the proof will be in the pudding. This team can't start 0-5 or 0-anything. Win the first game of the year and let's get this truck moving. But I think Ticats fans should be excited by the tone that Milanovich is trying to set. The expectation of every game is important. And yeah, you're going to lose some here and there, but starting 2025 the right way with some wins, I think, and the fact that, Ticats fans should be excited about the brand of football that this team has played in the second half of the year. There is some encouragement going into 2025 for sure. Whether we see that materialize in wins, that will be the litmus test. Got to talk about the Ottawa Redblacks. Hamilton in Ottawa this Friday night. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock. We'll be launching the fifth quarter show on YouTube at about 10-ish or so, pretty much a few minutes after the game ends. Hamilton's commanding 37-21 win over Ottawa back on September 14th really set the wheels in motion for the Redblacks' dismal 5-game slide. And Ottawa has averaged 18 points per game during that 5-game losing streak, while giving up 29 points per game. That is a recipe for a big fat L each and every day. Now, despite having already clinched a playoff spot, I expect Ottawa head coach Bob Dice to play most of his starters this coming Friday in the hopes of, generating or finding some positives going into the playoffs. You don't want to go into the playoffs on a 6-game slide. That would be absolutely terrible if you're an Ottawa Redblacks player and certainly an Ottawa Redblacks fan. This coming Thursday, another edition of Picks, Props, and Predictions. I went 3-0 in my sports wagering selections last week. Of course, we always encourage people to please play responsibly. One day after, it's the Tiger Cats and it's the Redblacks in Ottawa. Kickoff is at 7. Fifth quarter show on YouTube will launch in at around 10 p.m. I'll also unveil on Friday night during the fifth quarter show some more details on what the fifth quarter is going to look like during the CFL playoffs and during the CFL offseason. I have a number of things that have come top of mind, and I'm just trying to select the things that are going to be most of most interest to you, the fan, and the Ticats and CFL consumer. So certainly join me this Friday night And throughout the playoffs and the offseason, we'll have some unique and compelling content for you. As always, thank you so much for subscribing. Tell your friends, tell your family to do so. The same. We're trying to get to 1,000 by Grey Cup 111 in BC. That'll be absolutely tremendous. I wish you nothing but the best this week, and Oskee Wee Wee.